Hello. Hi, Brooke. How's it going? Good to see you. Are you rewinding yarn today again? I feel like the camera's a little too big, huh? Let's see. Hi, Claire. How's it going? Hi, Louise. Is it that hot? Oh my gosh. What a bummer. I really want to be able to see my chat window right here. I'm going to move things. Okay, so this is my plan, you guys. We need like a backup plan if my stream crashes and I don't know it. So I was thinking if I'm suddenly gone and I don't notice, because sometimes it just tells me I'm still streaming, then you guys, one of you just comment on one of my YouTube videos, because I'm going to keep my phone in front of me. And if Brooke's here, hopefully she'll just text me. I'll just keep my, that was like the first time in a while I didn't have my phone like on and up in front of me. So yeah. Cool. Are you guys seeing me? You guys are seeing me, right? You're not seeing video fast enough, right? See, I can see myself on Twitch, but YouTube looks like it's struggling. So let me know if you can see me. Yeah? Okay, so Twitch can see me, yeah. Hello, Kathleen. How's it going? Karen! Okay, you'll text me. Okay, cool. You see me. All right. K.E. Ridley, you won the giveaway. Did you see my message to you on YouTube? You need to email me. You can see me here. Okay. Okay, cool. Thanks for telling me that. You can see me fine. Okay, great. You guys are just all chatting with each other, and I was like, maybe they're just entertaining each other and ignoring me. Oh, you have AC at work, Louise. I know it's not as common in Europe, huh? It's gonna be like 96 here today, Fahrenheit. Okay, cool. So, K.E. Ridley, Karen, right? You won the giveaway. So I want email me at sewsew.live@gmail.com and tell me your address. Hi, Polly. How's it going? So I'm really sorry that the stream. Oh, you're over there too, Brooke. Awesome. You've been away to a wedding. Awesome. Yes. So cool. I'm glad you're here. I kind of figured you'd be in stream soon. Hi, Jilly. How's it going? So I'm really sorry about the stream crashing yesterday. Like on my end, it looked totally fine. It said I was live and everything. So I don't really know. I've tried troubleshooting it and there's like nothing that comes up. I probably have to contact support, which I never really have time to do before the stream or after the stream. So I have to wait. So maybe tomorrow I can do that. So if I know what the problem is, then maybe I can fix it, right? So. Okay, so, but it's kind of a shame because the beginning of that video we really talked a little nitty-gritty about sizing and stuff, and you guys seem really into it. So I'm gonna try and do that again when we go to cut out our real ash jeans. It seems like these jeans have either been made by a lot of people or they're about to be made by a lot of people, so this might be a little helpful. So I'm just hoping that we can cover anything you guys want to know about with the ash jeans. So what I did was I ended up kind of making some changes at the side seam, kind of opening the hip a little bit so that it would be a little bigger. I accidentally cut that off on my, when I cut out my sample, dope, on the fronts. So we'll see. It's a prototype, right? It's a sample. We'll see how it does. Yeah. So we'll review again. Because I ended up deleting that video, so there wasn't two videos on this. This is just a prototype. This is a sample. Things happen, right? Yeah, I saw, Quilter, you're making some. That's so cool. Yeah, so I just was thoroughly reading the directions for how she prefers to do the fly, and this is actually the way I used to do a fly a long time ago. So I'm kind of excited to do this one again because this one, it worked for me as well. And she has some really great tips on top stitch thread, so I thought that was pretty cool. She seems to know what she's doing. Always great, right? Especially when it comes to fitting our booty. So let's see. So we're making the Ash Jeans by Megan Nielsen Patterns. It is a stretch jean, not a non-stretch. I have cut out the size 34 and I have increased the hip a tiny bit across the back. I'm just making a pair of shorts. I'm not going to be perfectly sewing these as if this is my pair of jeans, because we're about to do that, and I don't really want to drag you guys through sewing these like for 6 days. So what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and get through these shorts today. I don't have class today. It's just too hot and school's started. I only had one person sign up, so we postponed it, which I was actually totally fine with, because I kind of did think it was a little bit crazy to make a coat when it's 95 degrees here. It's kind of hard to relate to that, you know. So what I'm going to do is just sew these pretty accurately to the pattern, just in case you're raring to go on your own Ash jeans. But I'm probably not going to sit there and, you know, perfect my version of perfect, which isn't that perfect. I'm just going to try and get through them so that I can try them on. And then I'm thinking Saturday we're going to cut out the jeans together, talk about patterns again. There's probably gonna be a few more people here because it's a Saturday, and then we'll sew them next week. So we'll sew them maybe Wednesday, Thursday. I don't know, it puts the timing kind of off, you guys, you know. So let me know what you think, and then I can come up with a backup project for like next Saturday or something. So all right, so let's get going, because I would like to get, I want to try these on. I'm really excited about trying these on. So here we go. So we start with the fly zip immediately. You don't get to put it off. You don't get to think about it. You're just diving right in. Feet to the flames. All right? Okay, Karen. Yeah. No worries. Yeah. Cool. I'm so excited you made it into the stream today. All right, everything look okay, you guys? Yeah, right? It's totally true. Labor Day weekend, lots of busy folks squeezing it all in. Some of you may have some big sewing plans this weekend, or maybe you're going out of town or something. I'll be here. Except on Monday, I am going somewhere. I'm just going to Sacramento, but all right, cool. All right, so I have my pattern pieces pulled. I kind of pulled them out just so you guys had them for reference. So I used to always get the names of the pattern pieces for the fly confused, and then I, you know, logic finally overcame my confusion, and I remembered that the fly extension is the extra piece that you're adding. So this is always the fly extension, the one that is folded and has the little shape at the bottom. And just remember, this is the fly extension, and think of it as extending the front of your pants. So it's the extension. The fly, because we call the whole thing a fly, right? So it's kind of confusing. This is the fly. And sometimes this is called the shield. This is always called the fly, or the fly facing. All right? Fly facing, or fly extension, fly shield. And she calls this, this fly extension or fly shield. She calls it the extension, and then this one the fly. All right, and then there is no interfacing cut for either of these, so I'm not going to do it. So the first step is putting in your seam at the bottom here. So I pre-serged all my pieces. You know, nothing like setting yourself up for a quick sew. Let's see, is the camera in a good place? Would you like it a little lower? Would you like that? Like that? What do you think of that? We always love sewing denim, but it's so hard to see, you know. My serging stitch is so tight right here. Like, look how nice and flat it is here. Can you guys see that? Yikes! That's a little extra bulk. Good to know. Let's see. Now you're going to press this. I have my iron set up as well. And then let's see, I'm pretty sure you just start sewing the zipper right on. And we're going to follow along. I'm going to try and follow along exactly how the book is, so that just in case you're at home, my instructions are kind of helping along. So So let's see, the first step was to finish all your pieces, like with serging or whatever you want. And then your next one is putting your zipper on the fly extension. Oh, and you put it right side up. I was about to put it so like that. So you have your, when I try and follow the directions really closely, I get a little like, it's harder. So one thing I have learned, this zipper is so long. One thing I have learned with flies, and very importantly, is it feels like when you make a dress and you don't have the right length zipper, you are always told you can just shorten it, right? You can, and it's easy peasy when you're using a nylon zipper, or plastic as most people would call it, because something you can sew through, and you can shorten it at the top, no problem. You can't really do the or you can shorten it at the bottom. Sorry, you shorten it at the bottom, you just cut it off, right? So across the bottom, cut it off, right? You can't really do that with a brass zipper. So what you need to do is focus on the bottom and make sure that the bottom of your zipper is free and clear of wherever you're going to sew, you know, around here, because eventually we are going to sew across the bottom of this zipper, not when it's on this side of the pant. So line up your zipper from bottom to top and let the extra stay at the top. And you can even go as far as removing teeth up here, like once you pull your slider down, removing some teeth and getting the bulk out of it so that you can put the tape right into the waist seam. I don't know if I've done that. I'll try and do it on this one, maybe. Usually I have a shorter zipper. This looked a lot shorter when I grabbed it. So, all right, so let's see here. Place the fly so the folded edge is on the right, the finished edge is on the left. Place your zipper right side up on the left, lining up the edge of the zipper tape with the finished edge of the fly extension. So yep, line up your zipper tape right here to the finished edge right here. The zippers stop lined up with the notch. So that is kind of why I pulled these out, because when you serge, sometimes you lose your notch, right? So my notch is right there. Now, don't worry that you're going to lose length. If you are needing that extra ½ inch, you probably need a longer zipper anyway. So I would definitely cant it towards the top more than anything else. And then you're going to sew it right side together, right? Right side place. Yeah. I think I'm gonna tack it first. Okay. See, reading the directions, I memorized this, and now I'm like, is that what I need to do? So, all right, so I'm just going to sew this on here. 1/4 inch seam allowance about. The seams throughout this are 5/8. All right, so now right sides together, same thing, 1/4 inch seam. You see my machine got a little hung up on the teeth. So if you have a zipper foot, you might find this a little easier. I can do a 1/4 inch seam with this foot though. I have enough space between my teeth and my zipper. All right, so now is when you're gonna switch to your top stitch thread, and you're gonna top stitch here. Because I wanna go back and forth as little as possible, I'm gonna skip ahead a step, do something on the right side, so that I'm ready to do the top stitch for both at the same time. So if you want to minimize your thread changes, follow along. So you're gonna put your fly face down on your left front, and I'm just looking for the seam allowance. Yeah, so 5/8 of an inch seam allowance. I'm gonna start from the top. When it's something like this that lines up with the top, I like to try and start with the top, even though it puts the garment in a, I can't see my seam allowance though, so I'll just do it. Just make sure that we stay lined up at the top there. Seam allowance is kind of important. I mean, seam allowance is always important, but when you're talking about such little amounts, like being a 1/8 of an inch off, it's kind of important on your zipper, because then it won't line up as well, like as far as when you are doing the final overlap of the zipper. So be careful of your seam allowance. All right, so now we're going to switch to top stitching thread, and I'm using the heavyweight, like jeans top stitching thread you see. This is the Gutermann. I have a few different colors. And you keep I have to keep the same bobbin thread as my lightweight regular old thread. So I'm only changing the top. I'm not changing the bottom. So that means you also have to always do all your top stitching from the top side. Makes sense though, right? I'm using I think a size 16 or a size 18 zipper. Let's see. I'm using a size, needles. I'm using a size 16 needle, just so you guys know. Whoops. What did I just do there? What? why did I do that? Sorry, I just clicked something I shouldn't have clicked. And now I'm forgetting which mouse button I use. I closed my chat window by accident. So smart, huh? So smart. I want it to be below my camera. There we go. There we go. All right. All of a sudden I didn't look live and I was a little nervous. Okay. I got my chat window back up. Perfect. All right, so let's keep going. Am I still, why isn't my arm moving over there? Oh, okay, it's just a hesitation. It's just a delay. I'm freaking out here. I'm paranoid now. All right, so let's do our top stitching. We're gonna check the tension because most likely I'm probably gonna have to tighten up my top tension a little bit. It'll look good on this side, but on this side, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a lot of texture there. So I'm gonna pull up the top thread so that it's pulling the bobbin a little bit more. This is one thing I don't like about a lot of my finished jeans. Thanks, you guys. I know my paranoia is bad, huh? This is one thing I don't like about some of my finished jeans is that I didn't quite get the tension very good with this top stitch thread, and I can feel the bobbin stitches, you know? So it's getting better. You can see less, see how much yellow you see here, less over here. It's getting a little bit better. It's a lot better, actually. I can't even feel it now. So just note, you might need to do this. Getting there. I mean, you definitely notice stitching, bobbin stitches. It got worse now. Let's go this way now. Okay, that looks a little better. I had to back it off a little, actually. I don't mind seeing a little bit of the gold back there. I just don't really want to feel the stitches because then they're kind of scratchy as well, you know? That really annoys me. All right, so I'm gonna probably press this with my fingers. Press it with the iron. So let's press this open first, like this, kind of like we're doing a French seam. And now fold it. And you don't want this to show on the right side. So, you know, cant it a little bit towards the inside like this, and then you're gonna top stitch this edge. And when you're doing kind of these specialty thread things, treat them with respect a little bit. Sometimes they're a little finicky, and I would try and do as even a speed as possible. I was supposed to clip this right here. All right, so this is her tip. I really love this. She doesn't backstitch, and then she pulls the top stitching thread to the back side like this, and then hand ties it. I think that's awesome. Now me, you know me, I just don't even backstitch. I mean, especially since this would be enclosed in a seam, I probably wouldn't backstitch that right there anyway, just because it does reduce the amount of heaviness with the stitches and the bulk, but look how nice that looks, right? And you need to clip this right here, right up to that, like that. All right, so this is what we're looking at now. That's your left front, left as if you're wearing it. I have regular thread in my bobbin because there's no way my machine could handle this really heavy weight thread in the bobbin. It just wouldn't even sew, and most home machines won't either. So and she even says that in the instructions, like you most likely have to use regular thread in your bobbin and top stitch thread on the top. So all right, so let's see, is this the top stitching step that I kind of put off? Is this one right here. You're going to press all your seam allowances towards the body of the pant. Look at that. I was so careful in sewing this so that these lined up, and look at that. They don't. Remember that? Remember when I was like, okay, fine, I will, or was that from the other one? You know what it is I think my fabric is a little bit stretchy. I'm going to take this out right here and I'm going to line this up better. See that? I don't want to start off like that. Oh, really, Louise? That's awesome. All right, let's pull this over here. I'm just going to pull out a little bit. I may have sewn it. I just need to remove the stitch sewing the extension to the pant. And I don't want to grab my serger thread. All right, I'm just going to pull it out a little bit of the ways and try and ease that in there. I want it to line up at the top, you know. Oh, hand tie. Yeah, that's, I mean, I like doing that for my darts, right? It's kind of the same concept. Where's the thread? I can't find it. There it is. Ooh, I just love that. I love pulling the thread like that. It's like some people like to pop bubble wrap. I like to pull the bobbin thread. Let's just pull the whole thing. All right. Okay, try and get rid of your threads. Best you can. Hard to see them. Do over. All right, so let's see if I can line this up a little better this time. Pretty sad since I started at the top. Oh shoot, I have the wrong thread on. This is going to be the story of your life when you're making jeans. So if you have two sewing machines and one of them does top stitching really nicely, or one of them, you know, sews heavy weights better, set up two machines. You'll be happier you did. Or borrow a friend's, make a couple pairs at once, and then that way you can do it, you know, kind of production style. That's how I used to always sew jeans. I would always have two machines. I'd have a machine right here and my serger right there. It was really great. All right. Let's see here. Let's see what my stitches look like after adjusting the bobbin, the tension. It looks pretty good, actually. Good. All right, this is lined up, right? This is lined up. Now I'm paranoid. I'm easily paranoid today. See, when I got hung up there, that was a sewing fairy last time, so hopefully this one. Yeah, exactly, Shanika. That's why I'm not using top stitching thread in the bobbin. Okay, that's better. Let's get back to top stitching now. Some things it's nice to be picky about. I don't really want to set up myself to have a waist seam that's not lined up. You know? Ooh, what's the camera doing? The heck? What the heck? Was it because I got too close or something? What the heck? Yeah, set up the second machine, exactly. That's awesome, Kathleen. Those older machines are so great for stuff like that. I literally can't see the thread right there. It's so hard to grab it. I find that my camera does weird things when it has trouble focusing on things. Like when we're doing a print that's a plaid or a stripe, we've always had issues with this camera. It doesn't matter what camera I put here, but the one that's right here. Hello, Eileen. Good day. How's it going? That's awesome, a quilter. Do you use your featherweight just for top stitching, or do you use it for your primary sewing too? All right, so I like to always sew a few stitches when I change my bobbin. It's just nicer on my machine to do that. You might need to get out your zipper foot at this point. I am perfect distance away right now. I don't have to worry about it. By the way, I just pull the bobbin thread and then it pulls that thread to the back. Easy peasy. I liked it, Eileen. I liked it. I got it. I understood. We have a few Aussies that join us. They just can't join us live because of the time. Oh, you take the featherweight traveling. People love their featherweights. All right, so let's see here. Haven't sewn a zipper like this in a really long time. So I keep referring the directions because I really want it to be the way that they set you up to do it here. So let's see here. We are past this. Yep, we're here. Now we're going to baste our fronts together. Right? I feel like I just skipped a bunch of steps, but it's just going really quickly, kind of. Do we clip this though, right? Yep. Clip. Switch. So one time I was playing thread chicken, and I had to rethread my machine every time I changed. Do you guys remember that? And I ended up having to order thread, but I was like playing thread chicken just for the stream because I was like, all right, I got to get at least this far before next week. And then I was really lucky that I found more thread. It was pretty funny though. Things you don't realize you might not have, you know. This one does take a few extra things. So you just need to baste your fronts together. This will help with the alignment of everything. I'm sorry this way is seeming kind of clunky compared to when I do it the other zipper style, but it's just because I really want to make sure I do this in the same steps that she has you do. Don't back stitch, stack, don't back stitch. Okay. All right, so you have your fronts basted, which is right here, midway on page 14. And then you're going to fold it all open so that the fly overlaps the zipper. Look, it's already looking like a zipper fly, right? And up here, there you have a notch on your waistline edge, which is 5/8 of an inch away from the cut edge of the fly opening there. So since we used a 1/4 inch seam allowance, we know that's about right here, okay? Just laying nice there, nice and flat, like that. And then you're going to pin, pretty sure you're going to pin your zipper. Pin the fly to the center front, not the zipper. Pin the fly, which is, remember the curved one, to the center front. And then you're going to flip everything out of the way. So let's pin the fly Let's see here. Wait, do I line that up on the right side? Yeah. Yeah, so let's line it up on the right side. We can even pin it shut if we like this. And it should kind of naturally want to go there. You're not worried about a gap right there or anything like that right now. That's not finished yet. I just lost my pen. All right. I'll pin this like this so we have that reference. All right. And now you're going to pin the fly to the center front. Right, this piece right here. I feel like I'm supposed to print this on the outside. Got our fly there. All right. Fold open the front so that the fly overlaps the zipper and fly extension. We did that. The folded edge of the fly should line up with the center front notch. Did that. And pin the fly to the center front, then turn everything to the wrong side. I just pinned it on the wrong side, right? Yeah, you know, Louise, there are travel cases, but it's just nice when you don't have to travel with your machine. Flip the fly extension out of the way, which is this little guy right here, and you'll see that the zipper is face down on your fly right here. Yep, see the zipper is face down. It will fall into a natural position, most likely just over 1/4 inch from the fly edge, depending on the width of your zipper tape. Pin the zipper to the fly only. Yeah, okay. I don't ever usually pin parallel to a seam, but when you have a brass zipper, it's a little tricky. We'll add a pin here to our fly for stability. So now remember, this was not attached to this yet. Like if I unpin that, it would just open up, right? And now you're going to you're going to pick this up and unpin it to, wait a minute. Did I just do that a little bit backwards? You're supposed to pin the fly to the front, right? And the fly, the folded edge of the zipper, pin the fly to the center front and then turn everything around. Flip the fly extension over the fall. Okay, when do you unpin? Well, you have to unpin it from this. You need this only pinned to here. Okay. You only want this pinned to this piece here, okay? Because if you sewed this all the way through, it would show on the right side, okay? So you need this pinned just to your fly. Now, it looks a little crooked, so I'm going to kind of double check it and make sure that everything looks okay. I'm going to pretend like I'm unzipping my fly. That looks pretty good, right? If it were to stay like that, I think I would be happy. Okay, so let's stay like that. Now you might need your zipper foot because you need to put in 2 lines of stitches. I'm going to put in one here along the zipper tape edge. Try and keep everything is out of the way. The only thing you're stitching on right now is your zipper tape and your fly, your curved fly, right? I'm pushing kind of hard to keep this nice and flat and straight. All right, so I'm going to put in what my machine thinks is a zipper foot. Definitely doesn't look like yours because I can't move my needle position, so it's just a really narrow foot. I like to put it down so it's properly seated. All right, so let's do our other line of stitches. Did I backstitch there? Yeah, I did, okay. All right. Yeah, right. Same with me, Louise. I mean, in a way, I would like to get into hand sewing so that I could do some sewing projects on trips, you know. But like, I brought a whole knitting project last time and I didn't even cast on. Because I started telling myself, if you cast this on, it might sit for a long time between knitting it and then your gauge might change, you know. So, all right. So here we go. Here's so far what we have, right? So your zipper's in now. Your zipper's in. That was it. Okay. So now all you got to do is put in your crotch seam still right here and your decorative stitching. Okay. That's it. So I'm going to try and keep following the way that they have it outlined here. So now we're on page 15. We're going to take out the crotch seam basting stitches. Move the right front out of the way. Okay. Using the contour regular thread, regular foot, so a line of basting around the outer edge of the fly through the. Okay, now we're going to do our curved stitching. Okay, we're ready. Kind of. Do I really make it look? I mean, it you know, think about it. I think if we disassociated the fact that it's this front and center zipper right in a spot that's kind of sensitive to all of us, you know, like emotionally, you know, because it's like, okay, everyone's gonna stare at my sewing right there. I think if we just kind of remove that from the equation, if you can, and you just think of it as like a few short seams, it's not as intimidating, you know. Try not to think about the fact that you have this a zipper. Think of the zipper as a piece of fabric, maybe. All right, so now like I took out my basting stitch here, and you're gonna keep this out of the way, right? Now we're gonna do our top stitching of our fly. So now you would like your fly to be pinned to your front. Okay. So let's try and get this nice and flat. I do have my fly extension right there because it lays flatter when I do that. So I am going to pick up just the fly and the fly extent, the front, the left front. Let me use my words. And I'm just gonna pin there. Okay. All right, so now we have just our front and the fly pinned. It's kind of nice to go at this pace, honestly. All right, so there's your, right? There you go, there you go. Ah. Okay. This is definitely not my favorite way of putting in this decorative stitching though. Just gonna say it. I could get my little spool of thread. Oh yeah, I can get it to sit there. Awesome. It kind of like seats on there really nicely. In some ways, this really thick thread is really easy to thread because it's nice and stiff. But if the eye of the needle is a little small, you're probably using the wrong size needle, but then you might have some trouble. All right, let's check our stitching. Now is a really good time to check and see if your bobbin is gonna run out on you, right? And I think we're good. Because you really don't want your bobbin to run out when you go to do your top stitching, because, you know, you don't want to back stitch and pick it back up. You don't want to unpick it, because I'm going to tell you guys, when you unpick stitches on denim, it's a little unforgiving sometimes, and if you even snag just a tiny bit of the thread on here, you'll get a little pull and you'll see white diagonal going, and it's kind of tragic. All right, So what they recommend is sewing a line of stitches to follow. I think I'm just going to use my Choco liner here. And one thing I don't do very well sometimes is going all the way to the edge of my fly here. So I think the doing a little bit of a chalk line is going to help me. What I like to do is I like to feel it. I can see it right there, you know, just a little dotted line for me to follow. All right, so let's look. So it's also really good to, I know I'm really dragging this out, you guys. Hi, Nancy, how's it going? So I don't want you to be nervous when you're gonna go do this step. So sometimes do something to reassure yourself. And for me, it is, okay, is my zipper stop well out of the way? So this is the curve I'm about to stitch, right? This curve right here. Look at how far away that is. There's no chance of me hitting that, right? These are shorts and they are a muslin for the full jeans, Eileen. I am kind of trying to hope these shorts make it like most of us do with our muslins, but it's fine if it doesn't. So if that answers your question. I will be making the full ash jeans. Right, a quilter? Exactly. This is the scary part, Gina. It's flying by, really? Okay, good, good. Yeah, I want to do this at a pace where you guys can follow along if you're doing it. I mean, it'd be really nice if this was an uploaded video, right? And then on the screen it pops up, now we're on step whatever, and this is what you want to do, right? Okay, so here we go. Remember, you make sure everything's out of the way. Here's my fly extension, the front, all that. Don't go too slow. It'll get wiggly. What's this? Yeah, what is this in a strum? That's probably just an autocorrect thing. All right, here we go. The curve's the worst for me. So when you get to your curve, try and maintain a nice even speed and try not to stop, okay? Nowhere near that zipper stop. I'm nowhere near it. Just tell yourself, okay? Your sew, did you get your Sojo back? That's hilarious. Oh, I know, Malin, right? I know, those nice loose flowing dresses. Okay, look at that. I did pretty good. I'm actually pretty happy with that. I don't need to backstitch or anything. I'm just gonna pull this thread out of the way here. That kind of stuff bugs me. So it's just the tail of my start thread flipped under there. So let's just pull it out of the way if we can. I sewed over it. Darn good. There we go. Okay. All right. Now it's up to you if you want to do 2 lines of stitching here. I actually like just one. Oh, that's right. She's doing the datura top. Yeah. So I like it nice and simple like this. Maybe on my jeans I'll do the double so that they're a little more like jeans, you know. All right, so now the next part is finishing up this area here. This part used to be also my weak spot, getting it so that it laid nice and flat, you know. So let's check it out. Let's check out their tips. All right, so here we go. We're already on page 16, right? All right, now we're gonna sew our crotch seams back together. And you might not be able to get it all the way just because of the, you know, top stitching you've already put in here, right? It's starting to get a little constricted in space there. But we're gonna get darn close, and then the top stitching is gonna finish it off, all right? I hate how much top stitch thread I'm wasting right now. But I don't want to thread my machine each time. Really, I hate going through the thread cradle at the top. The thread cradle is, you have to thread it from back to front. So you're like this, poking towards yourself. It's harder than the needle for me, you guys. All right. If anything, watching me do this is going to make you guys want a second machine to do all your top stitching with. Now, let's see if I can pull this through to this side. Right? This one goes, yeah. Let's pull this one here. I'm not going to tie it off. I'm just going to pull it through. And now let's do our real crotch seam now. 5/8 inch. Close as you can. All right. See right there? I'm not a big fan of that right there. Let's see if I can do better. I feel like I can do better. So there's my, yeah, maybe not. I don't think I actually can. Let's see. Let's see what's happening here. I like to analyze and see what am I doing that's affecting which spot. So like right here, what is that I'm looking at there? That's this right here. Okay. So I can do a little better right here. I'll show you just what I did. So what I noticed was that my 5/8 inch seam was just shy of where the fly is folded back right here. So that's better now. See that? So just, there's my slit. So I needed to go all the way to where my slit was right there. And there's the fly right there. Get rid of these threads so you can see better. Okay, so now you're going to put in your top stitching along your rise right here, and you're going to kind of cinch this down now. Okay. And you're going to go through all your layers. Just remember, there's your stop. Remember, we wanted it up high, and now you can see why this is really great that it's up high, because now we're going to come up and top stitch this. And so let's just reassure ourselves again, like, okay, if I come up, like on the instructions, can you guys see this right here? So I haven't done this bar tack yet. Probably a good time to do that, but I don't have my zigzag set up. So we're going to now double stitch this crotch. We're going to start here, come up, pivot, and come down, and then you add a bar tack right here. So this is where you're going to kind of close any gaps that you have here. This is kind of your moment to like tuck it all in there and hide it, right? But let's reassure ourselves that we're not going to hit the stop. Okay, so how far are we going to come up? So I'm just going to poke my awl in here and see where is that on the zipper, and it's right here. It's pretty far away. So now I feel comforted that I can go up like a 1/2 inch past the bottom there. So the things you have to do to make yourself feel better, and I feel like when you make yourself feel better, you feel more confident to like move forward, right? Because whatever you're worried about is what's stopping you. So try and figure out what it is that's concerning you and what's going to happen. And if you don't have an awl, use a pin. A pin would be easier, actually. The awl was really stiff and thick for the that many layers. So if you stick a pin, you can actually see exactly where you're going to go. And then that way you are reassured. And any little like noise, like this is the thing, like any little noise you hear, you're not going to go and stop and then get a weird wonky stitch, right? So, because that would happen to me. Like I would hit some, like a weird noise, and then I'd be like, abandon ship, you know, and I'd like pull out my work and cut it, and I'd be like, oh dang, it was looking good, and I was right on track, and it was fine. Why did I get spooked? You know, it's like when you're walking on a trail and you hear a critter in the bushes. It's like getting dark. You're like, I knew I should have left earlier. And then it's a bird. It's a little tiny bird. birds, man, they sound like elephants in the bushes. So yeah. Yeah, so just make sure you're, it's not like you're doing this 15 times a day, right? So, all right, so we're gonna push our seam allowance to the fly side and, really spread it out here. Don't get slack like that, like get it nice straight line there. You don't need to back stitch. All right, can you guys see okay? I hope you can see okay. All right, so here's all my hoo-ha right here that I kind of want to be like, yo, get in there and let's hide, Let's get it in there. Lay it nice and flat. Now this is when the weird noises can start. Like I'm nervous, right? So, see how thick that sounded? All right, we know we're safe about right here. We're gonna turn. How many stitches? I'm gonna do like 2, I think is good. Yeah, and then we're gonna come down. Not bad. I haven't done one of those in a while. So, fiddle with your stitches, make sure they look, that one looks a little loose right there. The thickness makes the stitch look smaller, so maybe I could have done 3 stitches. Now, if you do a bar tack right here, it'll look better. It's just how it is, right? So, I like to do fake bar tacks. It's just me. So I'm gonna do one right about here, and I'm just gonna run a few stitches back and forth right here. There's just something about it that gives you it fakes you out, right? So let's do it right here. I just did that in the wrong spot. I did that at the bottom there, so let's do it at the top now. All right, so for my muslin, I'm pretty happy with that. Okay. Doo-doo-doo. Right? Not so bad. Wasn't bad at all. Piece o' cake. There we go. So I did the bar tack through the fly extension. Just makes the inside look nice and tidy. Which is my pet peeve with zipper flies, is that they don't look that great on the inside sometimes. Even in store-bought, they're kind of a hot mess right here, All right, you guys have any questions about that? Because now we're just going to sew some pants together. Yeah. Did I actually sew into the bottom fly? Yeah, I did, Louise. I sewed right here. I sewed all through the layers. So you can't see because the bobbin thread is blue, but I sewed, so my top stitching, I came up, came over, and went down through all the layers. So everything was sitting as if I want it to look when it's done. So that's why I say when you get to this point right here, if you have a gap there because maybe you couldn't get really close when you did your rise seam or your crotch seam, or say you have a little bit of funkiness in there, finesse it a little bit, okay? Kind of get it the look the way you want it to, and then like this is your holy grail of making it all, come together. Thanks, you guys. Yeah, so that's your last chance, and then you're done. Like that's it. Okay. The only thing we'll have to deal with is shortening our zipper and possibly removing some teeth right here. I don't have my little thingies. Piece of cake. I was a little nervous, All right, so let's go. All right. I like that way of sewing a zipper fly. I feel like it's a little more traditional. And the other thing about sewing it this way, you guys, is you can really tell what you're affecting and where you're affecting it. So it kind of gives you a better idea of how the zipper fly is working, and where, you know, what piece is doing what. And I think that's kind of helps, like when you kind of understand what's happening. And even I sometimes, every time I do it, I'm always like, okay, wait, like, where am I at on this thing? Like, if I'm sewing here, where is this at? You know, like, it's kind of a confusing thing. And I really think, like, we're just so stuck with these shapes, because, you know, people have probably tried to improve upon them, and they're just like, yes, this just works, you know. So this is when my thread tail goes into that kind of stuff. I don't like that. Yeah, it looks really good. It's a really good method. Maybe I'll do a video just on this once I get the hang of doing it smoothly and step after step. I like those how-to videos to be short, because I appreciate them when they're really short, so that I can kind of, like, you know, get to doing what I want to do afterward. All right, so now we're going to put on our pockets. Okay. So now your choice is, do you want the lining of your pockets to show when you're wearing them? They're not, I mean, not like wearing, like, as if you're wearing these. Do you want the lining to show on the inside of the jeans? Like, so when your jeans are inside out, you see the right side. Hi, Sandy. Oh, I'm so glad. Welcome. We just sewed a zipper fly, but this will be uploaded and you can see it again if you want. Or do you want your hands to see the lining, right? So this is your choice now. Do you want the right side of the pocket to be towards your hands, or do you want it to be towards the inside of your jeans? I like it this way because, you know, it takes a cuter picture, right? And every time you do your laundry and you see them, you see the print. So just know that whatever print you guys pick, if you're using denim, it's most likely gonna bleed a little bit more onto your pocket lining if you pick up cotton. So it won't stay as cute as when you cut it out. So yeah, Sandy, these are a great bunch of gals. There's no hazing here, so you're safe. So yeah, I like to do it this way. So then because I do it this way, it can get a little confusing to know which is the right side to the wrong side. So once you get one on, you're set. So I just know it goes right side to wrong side of the pocket, because I just laid it out and I kind of looked at it, right? So we're good now. And I'm kind of jumping the gun here. I should have put my pocket facing on. I'll do that in just a second. Now that I have this on here, I can breathe a sigh of relief, so I'm not like doing it backwards. All right, so let's put our pocket facing on here. So now remember, this is the right side that this goes to. Wait, is this the... There we go. So again, my pocket linings are going to show on the inside of the pants, the right side. So line up your corners here. I've already pre-searched all my edges, which is kind of nice. It's like a treat. Hello, Barbara. Yay, Sandy, you're finally gonna sew jeans. That's awesome. Do you have a jeans pattern already picked out? I've never made these before. I'm pretty excited to have another jeans pattern in my library. And so many people say really great things about this pattern, so that makes me feel good. All right, so this time let's put this on before we attach it. It's always easier to do that, right? All right, so line up your edges here. So if you're not pre-serging, you're gonna have to finish this edge first. Now you can do this. You can turn under this edge like this and just top stitch it down. You don't have to have a serger, but you can zigzag it as well. And then you can finish this edge, but you don't have to yet. You can finish this edge once your pants are all assembled, like your fronts are assembled. You don't have to do it the way I did it. Since I pre-serged it, it kind of adds a few extra layers of thickness, like with thread. That sounds kind of picky, but my thread's a little heavier than regular home sewing thread, so it is kind of annoying. I won't sugarcoat it. So I'm actually using lighter weight thread for the blue right now, so that helps. I'm not putting a coin pocket. Oh, you're getting the ash jeans? Perfect. That's great. So I'm just doing a prototype today. Yesterday we cut them, and I kind of did a little bit of pattern drafting and kind of measuring and stuff like that. And then I'm sewing this muslin to see how they fit. It's not muslin, obviously. And then I will cut and sew the real ones probably Saturday, because I'm gonna be here for a bit today just sewing these through. I may not do the waistband today on stream. Why is that so different? The heck? What the heck? I may not do the waistband today with you guys, but that's only because I'm looking for a muslin right now, so I don't feel obliged to finish these quite yet. I will do the full ash jeans with you guys. Why is this one not fitting? What the heck? All right, so you probably want to clip this curve. It'll behave a lot better, especially when you turn it. See, clip, clip, clip. Oh, I know why this doesn't fit. Because remember I accidentally cut off what I added to my hip here, so this is a little bigger. Yeah, me too, Malin. I cannot wait to try these on. You know. Yeah, Eileen, I want the Dawn now as well, because I have that fabric for my 30-year reunion. I would really like to make some pants. Okay, so I gotta switch to my top stitch thread. This is just the nature of the beast, you guys. Just the nature of the beast. So I didn't take the opportunity to say that when you are doing this kind of top stitching and you do need double needle, like home machines are kind of fun in that they have this double needle, you know, you can get a twin needle, top stitching needle, and it'll do 2 rows at once perfectly parallel. You just can't turn corners. You can do curves pretty good, but you can't turn corners. Let's iron these. We haven't ironed in a while. We haven't ironed at all. Let's iron. So I can't use those twin needles on my machine because my throat plate will only take a single needle through it. So, but you can take full advantage of those. All right, because this is always a different fabric than your pants, you really want to make sure this presses all the way to the inside of the pants. Look for a line of blue right here, you know? Look for a line of your denim. You'll notice I didn't serge this edge because I plan to French seam it. But you don't really need to if it goes inside the pocket either. Okay. That's kind of hot enough. Yeah, I would totally do that, a quilter. You know, who has made those, Louise? Someone has. I don't think it's Nancy. Nancy did the Morgans. Nancy and I think Christy's doing the Morgans. But are those stretch? Are the Morgan jeans stretch, you guys? Do you remember? You're a scaredy cat. Yeah, a quilter. I would totally copy something from one pattern to the other. Absolutely. If you're not going to be copying the pattern and then like marketing it, you can totally do that. And that is exactly what pattern drafters do in the garment industry. They copy patterns in their own library, and they say, we like the fit of the armhole on this one and the hem on that one, so combine the two, you know. All right, so we're gonna top stitch this opening right here. Did I test my thread? I don't think I did. Let's see. I hope the lighting's okay. It looks a little dark to me. All right. Morgans are no stretch? Oh, I don't have those. The Morgans have the button fly, right? You know, Eileen, you could just sew a muslin without the zipper. Just see how they fit first. That might be a good way to kind of break the ice with it, you know? And the Mountain Views, I mean, we all love those, right? There's no zipper fly at all. I don't know if you were with us then, Eileen, but the Mountain View pull-on jeans by Itch to Stitch Designs, they are great. They're a great pattern, and most of us had really great success with those. Bye, Shanika. Hasta mañana, Iguana. Actually, I won't be here tomorrow, but I'll see you next time. Hasta la próxima. Okay, so let's see here. This is how I want, so sometimes, you know, like, yeah, I'm sewing on camera, and sometimes I'm a little nervous, right? And I'm not nervous, but I'm like worried I'm gonna do something wrong. So it's like, okay, I just baby myself. This is how I want it to finish, right? So I'm going to sew it like this first. No, I want, let's see, I want my wrong side together and then my right side. Wait, I'm confusing myself now. Yeah, Barbara, absolutely. Yeah, I like the flat fronts too. It's so comfortable. All right, this is how I want it to be. So if I do wrong side, yeah, I want wrong sides together first, because I want the right side to be on this side. It just depends on where you want it. Like, you can do this both ways. This is all preference. Let's change the thread for the 12th time. So is anyone going away, like, in the States here for the weekend? Because it's a Labor Day weekend here. It's like school starts and then they're like, hey, you have a 3-day weekend. And it's like the last ditch summer vacation effort. We didn't do a summer vacation this year. It's kind of weird. We did all kinds of little things. All right, so I'm doing a French seam here. I'm pretty sure it's just a bank holiday mullen. You know, like some places are closed. It's very like, it's guaranteed that any government and bank building is closed. But like the mall, like to shop, they'll be all open. The grocery stores, they'll be open, you know. It's just a way to give to the workers, and not all workers get it paid, so. I feel like it's in conjunction with something that happened in like the 30s or 40s here. Maybe Union related. So terrible. I don't know my American history regarding it. I know better with like the holidays that are, you know, battle related. And even then it's getting spotty. My daughter's way better. History was always my weak point. I'm just trimming this a little bit. Catalina, yeah. School start. Yeah, so Wisconsin school starts next Tuesday. Yes, Barbara. Totally. Use 2 different machines. We talked about that. Yeah. It'll be so much easier. What's Catalina, Polly? All right, so I'm going to just press this. Usually when I do a French seam, I like to press the seam like one direction, but it's a little hard because it's such a small little area, so we'll just do the best we can getting it right on the edge here. Gotta pull out my corner right there. Yeah, exactly. Well, the name implies something with workers. Yeah. Canada has one too. In fact, I don't think I think their Labor Day could be similar to ours. I can't remember. But their schools don't start until either after their Labor Day or in beginning of September. Or maybe it's both. Maybe they're both tied together. Really, I think it's because, you know, they just want to be like Hogwarts students. So. Nancy. Yeah, that's true, Nancy. Exactly. Ooh, fun, Barbara. Oh, you go to Catalina every year for Labor Day weekend? That's awesome. That's funny. Okay. It's your birthday this weekend, Eileen. Happy birthday. Do you like to celebrate your birthday, or do you do anything in particular? I like celebrating my birthday. I don't like a big deal. Like, I don't want a party. I don't want to like that kind of thing. Like, I don't need a lot of people, but I do like having like that me day. I'm not big on all the other holidays. Like, I'm just not big on like, so sad, you guys. My wedding anniversary was on Monday, and I'm so lame. And my husband got me a card and a gift, and I was like, oh, we're doing that? Every year, you guys, he does that. He's really great that way. And I can't tell, so I'm always like, okay, he's not doing anything, so I'm not going to do anything because I want him to feel bad. And then he does something, you know. And same thing with Valentine's Day. I could care less about Valentine's Day, and like literally sent me flowers when I've been on a trip, like at a show. So... Okay, so here's my pocket. It's so you can do this both ways, where you can have the French seam. It kind of would be a little nicer. I'm not sure this is what I was going for. Where you have the seam on the inside showing, and then it's nice and flat. What the heck is going on here? There we go. This pocket's kind of a weird shape. I mean, it looks weird right now, doesn't it? This was the deeper pocket. Yeah, I just did that backwards, didn't I? After all that prep, I still did it backwards. You know. Oh, yours is on Memorial Day sometimes, Nancy? Mine's in May. Well, you know that. think I was streaming on my birthday this year. I totally did that the way I did not want to do it. I wanted the seam to be on the, okay, well, that's why it's a muslin, right? That's really annoys me, though, because I thought I set it up. Okay, so here we go. Look how fussy this is because my seam is on the inside of the stupid pocket. All right. I like to stitch down all of this up here so that it lays nice and flat. This pocket is acting weird. Why is it acting so weird? Oh, it's threads, threads, threads. My pocket is going to stick out a little bit because it was adjusted for the increased hip, but then I cut it off by accident. So it happens, right? So I like doing this right now. It's probably in the directions to do it, honestly, but especially like if you're just like, I don't really need to do that. Do it for a couple of reasons. One of them is that your pants start looking really nice and it makes you feel good. And the other thing is like, then you don't have all the stuff flopping around, you know? Yeah, exactly, Barbara. The denim is narrower. Yeah, I know. I know, Louise, I know. Yeah, I know. It's terrible. I've never been a very sentimental person. I love celebrating other people's birthdays, though. You know, like, it's like, I like it. I feel like it's special. But it is funny, like, as far as, like, my wedding and stuff like that goes. Yeah, one time, like, I think the very first, like, birthday we celebrated together, we'd been together for, like, a year. And, or maybe it was the second year. Like, we were living together, so it was probably the second year. He said he was, like, hanging out with a friend occasionally, which, whatever, normal. And then on my birthday, he surprised me. He had been building me a bike. Because I was a full-time bike commuter for years, and I was using a mountain bike. And so, and buying like a new bike is really expensive, right? One that you really want. And so he had worked in a bike mechanic, managed a bike shop, done all this stuff before I met him. And he was every night like building a bicycle from scratch from someone's frame. It's perfectly suited to me. I used that bike for a long time. It was awesome. And I love that it wasn't brand new. That really suits who I am because it's like, what if I don't like riding on a road bike? It's nice that we didn't invest all this money in a brand new one, you know? All right, so here's my pockets. There we go. There we go. 1 year on our first Valentine's where we lived together. This is the thing. Like, I tell these stories and my friends would just be so mad at me. But he had... gotten these like metal stemmed flowers that would freestanding and they would like wave like this, you know, like if you walked by them. And they were daisies, which I love. And he got 4 of them. And when I woke up in the morning, it was like a scavenger hunt. I would find one and there'd be a little note and a little gift. And then I'd have to find another one all through the house. It's like, I was like, wow, I don't even know. I may have gotten him like a little like 1 chocolate heart or something, you know, so. Your kids have to remind you, oh my God. Yeah. Yeah, I told my daughter, I was like, oh, by the way, it's our anniversary. And she's like, you guys should go on a date. I was like, oh, I don't know. We ended up staying home. We ended up writing what our goals for the house were because we've been like, my daughter is really, 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 really good at searching for things. Like if you told her, I want to get a dog, she'd be like, what's your favorite color dog? And I mean, and I'm not kidding, within a few weeks, you would have your dream pet. Like she's so good at listening and researching and looking at the right places. She like notices things you react to. She's genius about it. It's incredible. And that's how we got one of our dogs. And so like what she discovered when my parents lost their house in the fire is how much she really likes looking at real estate and finding a house and stuff like that. And so she got really into that. And so then, because my parents now have a house, she doesn't have that to do anymore. She still looks, and she's trying to get us to look at houses, right? And so what we've learned is, look, we just need to do a couple things to our house so that we don't want to leave, because we actually really like our house. You know, I don't really want to move. I don't want to go through moving. And I asked my husband, like recently, I was like, do you want to move? He's like, no. I'm like, me either. Yes, and she got me the watermelon mint tea. The other day, you know what she brought me home? She brought me home a container of ice cream that was Girl Scout cookie, thin mint cookie flavor. Because I love mint and chocolate. That's my favorite ice cream. All right, so now we're doing our yolks, you guys. I'm going to do the yolks. I hope I'm doing this in the same. Let's see. I didn't even look at the rest of the book. Let's see. Front pockets. We've got our pockets on. Okay, so you do your back pockets, then your yoke. I'm gonna attach the yoke and then do the pockets because of the top stitching. Germany online again. You're not the only German here, I'm pretty sure. Mata Handmade. Right, you guys? Right? We have the UK, Sweden, Canada. Where else? Sometimes Australia. All right, so you can see I didn't serge my waist seam. You don't really need to do that because of the waistband. This thread feels really thick. Now she's really good at like paying attention and listening to things like that. Oh, Portugal! Sophie's from Portugal. Oh my God, that's awesome. Doesn't my yoke look like it has a big old fat curve in it? Is the pattern like that? It looks like it is. Like it doesn't look like I cut anything off. All right, so I'm just sewing this at a 5/8 inch seam. Now you could, why is this not fitting very well? You could explore doing things like flat felled seams on your denim. So, I'm not going to do it on my muslin. All right, so now we have our yoke here. Let's see, does it line up? It lines up okay. One lined up, one didn't really. Ah, I just lost my pin. Shoot. All right, let's see if I have it on here. Yeah, okay. Let me just put my pocket marking back on there. It's this one I'm missing, right? Yeah. Where's my... How many times do I ask where my pin cushion is? Hello, Christy. How's it going? Oh, yeah, Eileen. That's a good idea. Flat felled denim for the Patreon stream. Yeah, I like that. So I re-recorded my stream intro as like my 1 year anniversary gift to myself. And I'm going to try and upload it today. Hopefully I'm not very awkward in it. I tried to be like conversational. I don't really go from notes. I just recorded a few times, you know. So I feel like now I've been doing this for a year. We have a better idea of what we're all about here. And I just really want people to, you know, check it out. So. But that means that I'll probably have more time also to record some videos. It's the editing and the upload part. Oh, you do, Nancy? That's awesome. All right, I'm gonna top stitch my yoke, mainly because I want it flat and out of the way while I do the pockets. Yeah, I'm gonna sew one of those really soon. I was supposed to do it next week, but it may have to be once I'm back from the reunion. I think I'm gonna do 2 rows here. So the beauty of having the twin needle for top stitch is not only are the lines perfectly parallel with one another, it's the stitches, each stitch is lined up. So it just visibly looks so much more in line. So yeah, I know it's still kind of warm here. So to do jeans right now, I mean, it's a little early, but you know, I'm still trying to make it my way through my my needle sharp boxes. My other one is so definitely like a cool weather thing that I'm waiting. I feel like I'm about to run out of bobbin thread. I don't like, this is like, look at how badly I lined this up. Pretty bad. But, you know, good to note for when I do my real ones, that's a trouble spot for me, that I had trouble lining that up. Because I'm going to lose a little girth trying to get my pants together. Not good. All right, let's do the pockets. Let me get some pattern pieces out of the way here. These are going to come together pretty quick now. Pie. She needs to make her mustard Morgans. She does, she does. All right, so this pocket has a double fold hem here. Let's iron it. This right here. It does, you're right. It looks like a face. Oh my God, I've never seen that. It's hilarious. Let's just satisfy ourselves here by ironing this as well while we're here. So you have two little shapes here, like that. That's, you know where to fold because of that. It's pretty small though. That is pretty small. Definitely try harding, sorry. I'm all quiet. Alright. Let's compare them. Not bad. I didn't do too bad. Okay. Good, good, good. Oops, sorry. There's no reason to have a wool ironing board cover. I just like it. The reason I got mine was because remember my original office setup? I was in my old little factory, and so I needed a ironing board near my station, but I couldn't put our real ironing board there. It was too long, and I needed the shelving underneath it. So I put my shelf there when I saw these wool ironing board covers. I do really, really like it, and I like it better than my ironing board, but only because it feels really sturdy on this shelf. I'm using like a metal shelf. I actually tried to get one of those for you guys as the giveaway, but they were all out of them. So there's no like reason. The reason people love them and that they originally were developed were for quilters. so they can lay their pieces and they don't slide around. It's kind of like, you know, the little kid boards, the wool felt boards that they put when you're in like nursery school. So it's kind of like that. I have to have, the drawback is that I have to have something like a sleeve ham or the sleeve board so that I can get things up off of the table and do curved things. Yeah. Now everyone's going to see this little face. He needs like a little mustache. You guys, I will draw all over my machine, you know, so don't put it past me. All right, so here's my pressed hem, but I have to sew from the top side, right? Because this is my threads on the top. So try and make sure, I'm gonna look at the edge of my top, the folded edge, and keep it parallel to the line on the throat plate so that I know I'm getting it straight. Oh, it's slipping. Whew. I slipped off right there, and look at my tension slipping down too now. So on the right side of the needle. All right, so here we go. Let's do this one now. When I got towards the end, the thickness of the fold pushed my needle off. So be careful of that. I'm not going to worry about it on this because I'm going to be folding this under. So it's okay. But it's good to be aware that it was trying to show me who the boss is, but I'm the boss. I'm not doing a ton of top stitching, but I'm just changing thread color. I have to do the stitch anyway. So machine on the right side of the needle, machine bit. Ah, the conditions of the giveaway. So look at that. This is even worse now. What the heck? You just need to comment on a video from this week. So either yesterday's video, today's video, or Saturday's video. Not in the chat, but just comment in the video. Like the video, make sure you're subscribed. And you just need to, this week it's very open. You can just kind of tell me something sewing related. You can tell me something you like, you don't like, what you want to make, what you don't want to make, pet peeve, your favorite stitch. I don't really care. I love reading all these comments. They're pretty fun. And then I'm going to pick the winner, and then I'm going to reply back to you, so you have to watch the comments. Technically, it's open to people in the US, but I'm kind of open to shipping, you know, places that are pretty easy to get you a package. I'm pretty sure legally I'm supposed to keep it in the United States. So, yeah. Yeah, no worries, Polly. I kind of want these to be wearable. Yeah. This pocket is symmetrical, unlike the ginger jeans and the, what were the other pants we did? The little, oh, you're right. Dang, you guys. They're so surprised. All right, now I just want to, like, you know, get my Sharpie out. Okay, I'm not going to do that. All right, so where my pins go in is where my pocket lines up, like this, which makes it look a little crooked because of your yoke. Now I just pin the pocket kind of in the middle, away from the edges here, like this. We'll pin our other one right now. So this is a really, doing a muslin is also really great figuring out if your pocket's in the right place on you. So I'm centering the pocket between these two spots, but lining it up to that spot. I just do it in the middle, so now I can do whatever I want to this pocket and it's not going to move, you know? Ah, oh, that's interesting. You know, I was storing, just as a cautionary tale, I was storing my smallest little cutting mat under the wool mat because I was so pressed for space there. I had a ton of space in that place, but remember I was running a factory, so I had all of our inventory, all of our cut stuff, other machines. It was kind of crazy. The steam does pass through the wool pad, and it did warp that cutting mat. So that's my cautionary tale. I'm going a little slow, you guys. I would like to speed up. Just gonna warn you. All right, so one of my pet peeves is this little thing poking out the top of my pocket and then doing that. So I try and turn it back. That's a little thick. Let's see if I can get it there though. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come straight up this time, go around the perimeter like this. Rather than do my triangle, I'm gonna go straight up. I'm not doing any fancy pocket stitchings on my pocket. I'm just gonna put solid pockets. You bought a wool nut? Yeah, exactly. Oh, you guys in this ironing thing. It's really tempting me. Laura Star iron system. Got to see one in action this week. Really? Interesting. I would like a dress form that is a little bigger than the one I have. I don't really need an iron. Mine is starting to have some issues, but it works. I don't pin my pocket. I know people sometimes will comment in the comment section about this, but I find I have more control over the fabric that way, because if it's starting to go awry with and it's pinned, I feel kind of locked into it sometimes. So you have to Google pet peeve. Okay, so pet peeve is like something like that just annoys you, you don't like. Like my pet peeve is like, I just really hate it when this little piece of fabric peeks out of the top of my pocket like that. And then you start seeing threads. It really annoys me. I don't like it. And so that you could consider that a pet peeve. Like that doesn't annoy everybody else. So pet means it's mine. It's like my little creature. I would love to see how the internet defines that though. I just told someone texted me last night and I said, "Wow, were your ears burning?" And he responded, he's like, "I had to Google that. I didn't know what that meant." It was kind of funny. And that just means that I had just been talking about him to friends, like literally 2 minutes before. All right, so that's what I did to secure my ends. Now, you could go all the way around. There we go. But I'm kind of trying to speed up a little too. And I kind of like the look of that. It's kind of fun. All right, so I'm just turning it under. And then I'm going to turn under this corner. I just fold it back like an envelope. And I'm hoping my double stitch is going to secure that. So, don't be surprised if you see mustaches on these faces soon. Okay, so my awl kind of helps me keep this straight. So the fold is nice and straight. I know I'm getting close on bobbin thread. I gotta be careful. All right, so the next couple of steps in these are gonna finish them up, because I'm probably not going, depending on the time, I'm probably not gonna sit here and do the waistband with you guys, since we're about to do it on the actual jeans. So yeah, this machine does go through layers like butter. It is why I love it. And you know, the other thing I love about it is that the pressure of the presser foot is really strong. You can dial it up on a home machine, but it's never like this. I just love how firm the pressure is on the industrial machine. And I just love it for just about everything. All right, so I'm gonna get rid of some of these threads here. Fold back that corner. There are better ways to do this. I wish I would just take the time to deal with them. Oops, damn it. One stitch past. All right. Pie, who's got the pie? All right, so now we're going to put our jeans together. So Eileen, do those, do people say they're pretty accurate? I've been trying to remember the name of those. So I see the Alvanon form. What's it called? The Alvanon form. So the only forms I'm ever been familiar with are Woof. You're enjoying the dress form that you made, Nancy? That's awesome. So you ended up not making a second one, right? You ended up making the one you had. Or you did make a second one. The Alvanon is thousands. And the Beatrice is not? Yeah. Okay, so we're going to put our rise seam here. So like I said, you can do things like flat fell your seams. I can kind of walk you through that. We have flat felled seams on the men's Jutland pants, if you want to check it out on how to do it. And we did it on the free range slacks by Sew House 7. I do some flat felling in those too. It's kind of basically like hemming your seam. So what you do is you sew them wrong sides together. No, wait. Yeah. Right? Wrong sides together. Yeah, wrong sides together. I'd think about that. So then you have your seam. So a flat felled seam would be like this. You sew it wrong sides together. Trim one of them, trim 1/4 inch off, and then fold it over like this and top stitch it down. That's how you do a flat felled seam. So. Ooh, the Beatrice even more. Gets me on palm tree. Pet peeve in German, gets you on palm tree. Yeah, it's not a palm tree. That's pretty funny. Yeah, pet peeve is just a, you're spelling it right. That's what's funny. I'm lining up my yoke top stitching best I can right here. I'm gonna do like a 1/2 inch seam here because I have some lining up issues on the yoke seam. Ooh, I'm stuck on my, there we go. I was stuck on that thread around my presser foot. Yeah, pet peeve is just like my own personal, like I just really hate something personally, like it's my little thing. Look at how badly that's gonna line up right there. But it might not bug anybody else, it just bugs me. My husband speaks German, but he's not here right now. I'll have to ask him. Let's get rid of all these threads here. I like to pull them and get rid of them. Not bad. That's like the best I've lined up in a while. All right, so I'm trying to think about not changing my thread. She wants to understand, or he wants to understand what pet peeve means, Mullen. Hi, Ray. Yeah, exactly, Ray. Totally, totally. I know. Yeah, so I was explaining on how to entered the giveaway, and I said, you know, you could also tell me your pet peeve. Bye, Louise. Good night. Sleep well. So I'm gonna top stitch this, and I'm gonna do my side seams. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do my side seams, my back seam, and then top stitch all of those. And then I'm gonna do my inseam. So I'm kind of cheating as far as the order probably goes, but because I want to do fewer thread changes. Now, one way I could have added that same amount that I wanted in my hip was just not take up as much seam allowance. Is that it, Mata? That's awesome. You made a second one what, Nancy? All right. I feel like these will still be easy to maneuver inside for the top stitching. So. Yeah, it's a funny expression, isn't it? I forgot, I noticed my out seams didn't match when I lined all this up last night, and I forgot to correct it before I serged it. Oh, she made the second one, that's right. Yeah, so you did do that, yeah. But it's great that you're really liking it. Yeah, I've thought about doing fitting streams with that other dress form. I should just try it and see if it would be well enough, but I would like a pant form, not a dress form, so that I have legs to work with. It's something, you know, you probably are gonna fit your bust area and your booty area the most, right? All those lovely curves. All right, so now I'm gonna do my top stitch of my rise, and I don't know which way does it get pressed? Let's look, see if she says. Yeah, so it goes that way. That's good, that's what I thought. Oh, but I pressed my yoke seam the wrong way. I'll show you. The inseam. Yeah, and usually you top stitch the inseam. Yeah, so you, yeah, you're supposed to top stitch down here. I don't know why I did it up there. I like the way that looks, though. I think I would stick with that. It gets a little too close to the pocket otherwise. At least on my pair, it would. All right, so I'm just going to open this up. Do some top stitching here, right down the rise. Now, when you go over this little spot right here, be careful, all right? The home machine's not going to be too happy with it. But if you're using a big enough needle, you know, like an 18 or a denim, you'll be okay. I know she does, right? Yeah, Maddie. That's a good question, Barbara. For this one, I did look at it. I think that's a good idea. Yeah, I ran out of bobbin thread. Didn't follow my own advice. Let me thread my. Ooh, stop that. Let's see here. Here we go. Oh, I didn't tie it off. Great. I have a couple of half bobbins here, but they're not going to get me through. I wasn't going to say anything, Christy, but I did mention how confusing they can be. All right, I just need to thread my bobbin winder here. I pulled it through and I shouldn't have. See, threading the thread cradle back to front is so hard. Oh, I got it. Okay. So my machine's always winding a bobbin for me. But I pulled the thread through and it wasn't tied to my spool. So, you know. Okay, got it. Phew. All right. See, Christy, your experience helped all of us. Oh. Wait, okay, so fitting is to cut out your closest size and add the next size up seam allowance. What do you mean add the next size up seam allowance? I'm curious about this tip. This sounds interesting. Look at that. I'm gonna have that right there at my booty. They're just my muslin, and that will probably be between my legs, so I will fix it if it really bugs me now, because I kind of want to just get done. And I can get to this spot, but that's a little bit excessive right there. All right, we have our back seam. Now, typically, it's your inseam that's top stitch. It's nice to be thought of, exactly. So, usually, you are going to press your seam to the back. This is my front, this is my back, and then I'm going to top stitch the side seam right here to the bottom of the pocket. Where's the pocket? Right about here, okay? All in the name of trying not to change my thread all the time. I'm doing it this way. The reason you don't go any further usually is because you've already done the inseam, and I just did that incorrectly. And it's really hard to get through your entire leg when it's sewn shut. So you just do this little bit of reinforcement, right? So, yeah. I've made those ginger jeans a few times, Mata. And I know you can do it. You add another 1/3 inch to the seam allowance, then cut and trim between that well. Oh, okay. I see. Yeah, then you had a little bit of room to wiggle and make adjustments. All right, so there we go. Yeah, I totally did these a little backwards. Sorry. Yeah, the hanging dress from legs, exactly. Yeah, I always get this confused. You always want to reinforce the inseam with all the top stitching because that's where all the friction is of your legs, you know? And I always forget that. I think I did it right, like, on the last couple pairs of jeans I've made with you guys, but I did not on my first pair, and I had to, like, top stitch the legs all the way through. But I do like the look of the side seam being top stitched all the way down, and sometimes I just do it anyway. But it is pretty tricky, you know? It's pretty tricky to get in there with your machine. And some of these skinny leg jeans are going to be really tricky. Oh, there you go. That's a good tip, Christy. Yeah, and I don't think I finished answering your question, Beverly. But so what I did on mine was... I checked the rise by a quilter. I checked the rise and the waist and the hip, and then I found kind of a 0-0 point to line it all up with. And that's how I determined what size. So you want to make sure when you're doing your inseam, you line up at the crotch seam, just in case your legs are off from one another. Don't start from the hem and go to the hem, because you might end up getting some torquing and stuff like that. So try and do it. Line it up at the center, at the rise here, and then match it the rest of the way on either end. Okay. I might a quilter. I might. Maybe I will take pictures and just show you guys in stream. I'm trying to decide. Legs off of one another. Right? It would be, huh? When I get towards the end of the stream, my language gets worse and worse, especially if it's close to lunchtime. And today I left my iced coffee on the counter, so I didn't get my like little morning snacky poo with my my coffee, like my little snack. I'm actually doing okay though, so don't worry. But my language does get a little bit more relaxed. Let's see how they look. I kind of want to just keep going to the waistband, right? All right, here's my little shorts trial. Usually I offset these from one another, so it's kind of funny that I ended up getting it right. What happened here? Got a long piece of my top stitch thread sitting here. I'm going to try and top stitch my inseam because I do want to reinforce it. You like the relaxed vibe today? It's nice I didn't have to scoot to do that class. Totally understandable. A lot of people just don't sign up for classes right now with school starting and stuff. They're just too busy. Right, Ray? You got priorities. Let's see. I think that it gets pushed to the front, but let's check. The inseam, that is. Let's see. Yeah, it appears like it's on the front. So we'll do that. Since we have a small inseam, I'm gonna give it a go. But you know, I probably need to put these inside out to do it. And then I have to start from the inside of the leg like this. Sometimes saving yourself a step, you know, just costs you another. This is my back, yeah. Since they're shorts, this won't be so bad. So it was the right move for these, but I just got lucky. So let's pull it over, do it again. All right. Okay, so here's our pants, our shorts muslin. I'm gonna put the waistband on. I'm just gonna do it. I have to. Might as well do the whole thing, right? It's only one. These went really quick. 2 hours we sewed these shorts. They're not done. I mean, they feel like they're done. They look like they're done, but you know, at this point you still have your hems, your waistband, and your button and rivet installation if you're going to add them if they were jeans, right? Plus, if these were pants, they would have taken a little longer because handling the longer pieces. My hands are a little blue. Yeah, I'll do the waistband. Why not, right? I did iron some interfacing to it because I forgot to cut the interfacing still yesterday during the stream. Of course, right? Got my label here, which, let's see here. I think I'm gonna cover up some of the stitching back here with it. Let's get my thread out of there. I really need to remember to hold this thread when I start, and I keep forgetting to, so it doesn't get sucked into the bobbin stitches. Put that right here. Like that. I set it a little low because I don't have very much room there. So let's see. Let's see how they do it. I want to see how she does this. So she puts the outer waistband on first and then the inner waistband. Yeah, I know I'd have trouble with that. She does do the carriers. I didn't cut carriers, the belt loops. I didn't do those because these are just some jean shorts for me, and I'm not going to wear a belt with them. And I can always add them later if it's a problem, but I'm not going to. So I'm going to use my method because I feel like it works really well with these kinds of things that can get a little wonky, especially long pieces like this. So let's clean this up. Let's look around, make sure we don't have anything we need to deal with here on this waistband. The thing we're gonna have to worry about the most is our teeth here. So let's see if I can remove a few. I'm pretty sure. I have some tools right here. Wait, where's my other one? Okay. I've seen videos on this, but I haven't looked lately. So I'm just going to see what it's like. First of all, I'm going to cut a lot of this off right here between the teeth and get it out of my way. Right. What I really need is some of the teeth gone down, way down here. Has anyone watched how they do this? Let's see. Maybe I need pliers, like proper pliers. Let's try one up here first before I ruin my... I got my glasses on, so I got my safety goggles on. Because this might be a little bit more effort. So what I usually do is I just walk my needle around it. So I feel like there's a better way. I've watched people do this, and I cannot think how they did it. But I don't think you want to watch me pull out that many. So, okay, I'm going to cut this tape off right here. Now, do not cut your tape and then pull your zipper up. You'll be sad. I don't know if I could get a zipper head back on here, right? So let's just put a few stitches in right now to secure it, okay? We're just gonna walk the wheel. I'm gonna pick it up, pull it again. I'm gonna walk the wheel again. Now I'm gonna do it again. Okay. I'm going to test it really carefully. Okay, so there's some resistance there. Great. So now I don't have to worry about pulling up my zipper. So I haven't, Polly. There's a lot of great tutorials on how to do that though out there. I know, they look a little new, don't they? All right, so remember that the curved edge is the waistband, the waist seam, not the top. The top is your top of your waistband, right? So we're gonna put this right side to wrong side on the inside, okay? I'm gonna leave my seam allowance hanging off the edge there. And I'm just gonna kind of walk this around. I have some notches that I can't see right now. Where are my notches, man? Oh, maybe it's this one. It could be this one. Yeah. You know what? I may have put the interfacing on the wrong one. That's okay. So we're just gonna walk this around anyway. Do that every time, don't I? Try to put the interfacing on the correct one. They use wire cutters. Okay, thanks. I have wire cutters, but those weren't cutting it. Because those were wire cutters for beading. I'm gonna pin this all the way around. I don't have problems just walking my machine needle around it. Just be really careful, you guys. You can, it's not only just breaking a needle, you can throw the timing off of your machine when you kind of do a big boo-boo like that. Plus, it's dangerous for your eyeballs. You want all the eyes you can get, you know? I mean, not Argus or anything like that, but you know. All right, here's one of my big long threads again. I'm not pulling, I'm just kind of gently printing it, hoping that when I get to the end it all matches. And it doesn't. Bugger. So now we're going to ease it. I'm going to do a little bit here. Like this. Oh. Let's do that again. There was a pin in the way. That's why I was doing that. Okay. I'm not worried that the waistband is a little small. It could be my sewing. It could be that the waistband is a little small, but we kind of checked it, right? And so it's good to keep the waistband as relaxed as possible, and we'll get it back in there. It's not going to be an issue at all. Like, if anything, the waistband's going to be kind of stretchy. But not much. But see that? It is a little bit on the bias in a few places, and has the stretch that's already built into the fabric. Like the big wire cutters, yeah. Yeah. Smart. Why is this too big right here? Wasn't my waistband too small? Not too big? The one you put the interfacing onto should be your outer waistband, by the way. And it also is going to limit the stretch of the waistband. So it'll offer some stability, which is great. I really don't need all these pins. I'm just checking it. I'm kind of being a little obsessive about it. All right, here we go. Let's just do it. So now remember, my teeth are still in there with the zipper, so we gotta be really careful. And the zipper is right here. See? It's right here. Okay, so it's right here. So I'm gonna be really careful now. I'm gonna start hand walking it. between the teeth, and I made it. I don't know why I put all these pins in here, and now I'm just going to start putting them out. Okay. So I'm starting the waistband from the inside of the pants, and then that's why, that's because I can control how it's going to look on the outside. Good night. Good night, Mullen. Sleep well. Hasta la próxima. See, I feel like waistbands were something that they just drove me absolutely crazy. And I always liked the clothes that had collars and waistbands. And they just drove me crazy, you know. And then I don't know if someone taught me this trick or I just decided to try it once. I've never looked back. Okay, so here's my teeth again. Let me get right up to it. Now I'm going to walk my hand wheel. You can kind of feel where they are. All right. There's my first pass of my waistband. And so now we're going to do this one. And we just need to attach this one to the right side of the one we just sewed on. No problem, right? Let's trim this off. It's just a little extra. This interfacing is the stuff that comes in the needle sharp box, and it's super stretchy. So I barely had enough, and then it ended up being too big. It's kind of funny. I'm gonna wait to do this seam right here. It's kind of my weak area. I have a lot of trouble getting things to line up there. Okay, I'm just going to take a gander. I'm going to look for my center notch, which is probably about right here. Where is it? Is that it? Is that it? When you put the interfacing on, you kind of lose your notches. I know I notched. Where is it? There it is, right here. Okay, here's my center. And I'm going to pin those together. That's one non-negotiable point, right? So you want to really work on your seam allowance, being consistent on your waistband. This is another weak area for me. Sometimes my waistband will get a little bit wider and a little bit thinner in places. 1/8 of an inch really shows up on such a narrow spot. So just try and be aware of your seam allowance. Now here's my other non-negotiable spot. I feel like I'm about to run out of thread. I really did put a small bobbin in there. Oh, I did, look. I knew it. It's okay. I already have one full. No problem. I probably heard it stop. That's how I knew that. Okay. This is so exciting. I'm so excited to try these on. I need more shorts. So it is a little bit selfish. And I'm really excited to see how these compare to other jeans I've made and other jeans I own. So excited. And I'm actually considering not using the fabric I was supposed to use for this because, I don't know, the more I think about it, I just don't want black, but maybe I do. Maybe I need to step out my comfort zone there. All right, so right now, like I say, I have some of my weak areas are right here when I have my waistband and it overlaps. Sometimes this one's bigger and this one's smaller. Sometimes this one is like wiggly this way and this one's wiggly that way. So I'm gonna look at my waistband width. I'm gonna sew one of these. Look at all these threads here. What the heck? Where'd you come from? We'll sew one and then we're gonna match the other. This is the only thing I noticed in the picture, that the waistband looks a little funny to me. All right, so this side right here is gonna get turned up on the outside and top stitched down. So it looks a little narrow right there, doesn't it? All right, so I'm not gonna cut my corner too much because this is where I get into trouble too. So now let's look at this side. Let's do a preliminary. Okay, that looks pretty darn good. Really, Eileen? Okay, maybe I probably need to stretch myself. You guys are right. Yeah. Right? Okay. Yeah, and you know, I just have so many regular old jeans in my closet. Like, you know, black would probably be a good thing. They feel so fancy. I'm so paranoid about doing this uneven that I'm like dragging it out. But look at this. I'm getting, I feel like this right here, this little piece wants to stretch out, right? So I'm going to try and tame it better. Pull this out of the way. And I'm going to sew from the bottom up to kind of get it to stay that way. Okay, so let's see how it's looking before I trim all this. It's kind of hard because the corners are still in there and they don't let me properly do it. But like I said, this is one of my weak areas. It's gonna look better when I trim it. I need a pair of black. Okay, you guys, okay. I'll do it. All right, so let's zip them up. We're just on the inside right now. We only have our waistbands kind of sewn on the inside, see? Just gonna check things out. It's not a matter of if I'm off, it's a matter of how far am I off and where do I need to fix it. Because see, look at that. So here is my waistband right here. Like that. Let's pretend we've sewn this shut. Now I know I don't have the corner cleaned up yet. It's not a matter of if, but when. You know? Okay, so if this one was sewn like that, if I were just to keep it as is, would I match? And see, I wouldn't. See that? See that? Look how much higher that is. Wait, is it folding down? Maybe it's folding down. It's better than I think. Yeah, see, I think I can trim a little bit right here. Right? Right, Ray? Well, not, and I mean, like, I don't mean dragging out in a bad way either. I don't want you guys to think that, because for me, it's like, it's better to go slower. I'm going to start way back there, by the way, and do it really gradually. I mean more that I just want to add a lot of steps for the sewing and the cutting with you guys, you know, like, so it's a few extra videos. So I'm going to get a little closer this time. This is such huge seam allowance. Let's get rid of that though. All right, and then let's trim our corner here. Eek! Okay. You always want to do your back tack right there and then at your seam, you know, by the way. Reinforce it if you didn't, like me, you know, I did one and then I did the other. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to sew this corner, because when you cut right here, all these little edges start fraying and they get really close to your little corner, and then your corner pokes out and you're sad. Okay. Let's see how good it is now, or how bad it is. Let's see. Now we have our corners are fairly cut. There's lots of really great tricks out there on doing that too. Now this is the outside. Right? I need to do the trimming down. Exactly. I didn't want to trim, you know what happens is I'll trim that little corner and then I needed to get it bigger and I have nowhere to go. That's why I didn't trim it at first. I'm telling you, it's one of my weak areas. I get so excited that I'm almost done. I'm like, yeah, let's just get through. You know? Okay, so let's see how we're looking. So you need to make sure that this under layer is nice and flat. Your seam is right on top. And this is where it would want to sew, right there. Quilting pins are really great for this because they're kind of thick. They're kind of stout for the denim. Okay. Look at how nice your zipper starts looking when your waistband's on. You start feeling like, oh, I did do it, you know? Right? It is. It's like virtual reality, totally. I have trouble watching other people do things that I know how to do. And it's more because I really want to do it too. Like I want to reach through and do it. Okay, so let's see. What do we think? My waist seam looks a little high on this side. Let's see. What do you guys think? I'm not sure. I like the way this looks. I like the way this looks. I don't like the way they look together. This one is still a little higher right here. So I hate the diagonal lines too of the grain. So I could, I think I can make sure that my waist seam, maybe I can get this to match right here. But this right here, I think I need to trim off a little bit more. Just a little bit, and then I'm gonna go for it. I don't want my waistband to get too small though, you know? All right. Yeah. No, it is definitely, because what I'm trying to do is make sure that I'm trying to match lots of things at once, right? So I'm trying to make sure that the seam here matches straight across from one another, And I'm trying to match this straight across from here, or the same height, in other words. And when you're dealing with a waistband that's stretchy, plus this style, while it's probably really forgiving and really comfortable on, see there's, can you see the bias lines right here? It's a little confusing to see what's happening when learning. Would it help me to draw it on? Yeah, you mean like draw where the lines are? Yeah, that would probably be good. That's what you mean? Yes, it does, Barbara. The waistband's curved. But at the center front, it should be pretty perpendicular. It's going to fight you a little bit. There's a lot of fabric right here, by the way. I'm going to try this method. I'm going to fold you in first. I don't think you're going to like that, though. Let's see. But yeah, actually, you might like that better. Okay, good. Trying to keep my back of my waistband right here nice and flat and not get any tucks or torque. That looks pretty good, right? Now I have to hold it to me and see. Okay. Yeah, okay. Because you guys get to see it straight up and down, but I can't really see that. Let's zip it up. Let's move it around, see if it's going to stay that way. It's a little bit higher. It's really hard to tell. Okay, let's go for it. So I think also I'm going to cheat and do it with the blue thread first. And then I'm going to go back and top stitch it with the gold. Super cheat. Super cheat. Let's see, let's open our waistband. I'm not really going to pin it, but I am going to pin it in a couple of non-negotiable areas like this. Actually, let's iron it. I'd really like to iron it. Let's iron it. Yeah. Yeah, that would be smart, Eileen. I should have probably done that, huh? Just drawn on exactly where I want it to be. You could even run a line of contrast basting stitches before you sew your waistband. That would be really nice. You know what I mean, jelly beans? I kind of want to open this up. Yeah, like this. Like I'm doing a French seam. Yeah, right, Ray? Ensure success, not cheat. Yes, good point. Oh, this worked out. Okay, good. I forgot to check. My label's so thick that it kind of gets a little like this, you know? Brooke, I'm looking like a yarn dyer, aren't I? An indigo yarn dyer. Okay, so I'm just pressing the seams all up. I probably should have done this before I did all that matching. It would have been a little easier. Let's hope this makes it better. All right. Okay, so now let's press this top edge. I'm kind of canting it so I can see this edge I'd rather I'd kind of try and encourage that so that when I go to top stitch it, even if it slips a little, it won't slip to the outside. I don't use steam and steam. Right now I'm actually needing water too. Yeah, I don't typically use a lot of things like that. I don't have stitch witchery either. I think I got a little bit just discouraged from that at one of the places I worked. She was kind of a purist with her sewing materials being not synthetic. So she would never add glue or Hellon, you know, like fusible interfacing. It kind of made an impression on me. It's not that it's correct or incorrect. It's just how I've learned how to do things, you know? Yeah, the pockets do look kind of cute in there, don't they? You know, when I got to pick my pocket fabric, I started like going down the ye old rabbit hole of fabric selection. Then I was like, stop it. Pick something you're not going to care that gets indigo dye on it, that you know is pre-washed. I have a shirt out of this. I have an Aster shirt out of that. So that's why I picked it. It's pre-washed. I won't mind if the indigo gets on it. So you see, remember I was telling you that some of my weak spots are waistband width? Can you see this right here? This is wider than this right here. I can see it. All right, so now let's do the outside. Okay. I'm going to start at the center back, and I'll probably put a few pins in. Where's my pins? I'm going to use my big pins here. Sometimes it's helpful also to pin just this edge up here, just in a few places so that it won't shift, like to prevent the torquing. You know how I feel about that. So I'm just going to put in a few. They're kind of like anchors, you know, but we are going to stitch here and here. I'm really dragging this out, aren't I? I'm kind of into it, you guys. I wouldn't say I'm quite in the zone just because, like, you know, we've been doing this for a bit, but I'm into this. I'm into the nerdery. And, you know, you guys know I don't specialize in any one thing, but it would be fun to just specialize in denim, wouldn't it? Really get into it. I love all the little tutorials and how-tos I see posted. They're so cool. Okay, so let's just start pinning it, yeah? All right, so I'm gonna pin it so that the fold is just barely past my seam. Because chances are when I go to sew it, it's going to push it a little further, right? So just make sure you're covering it. You don't want it to peek out. You could put a ruler under here, that way you can just push right against it if you like. That's always helpful. I do that for button plackets. Okay, let's do one away over here. It's hard to see my blue thread. I'm feeling more confident. Maybe I won't do blue thread. Maybe I'll just go straight to gold. It's looking really good to me. I like that feeling. My seam allowance I used on both you know, here and here. I used 5/8, but look at how little I'm turning back right now. I don't really have an answer for that. So this is one thing I like about the felt ironing board is, look, I can go like this, pick it up, and it's in there. And doing that on a regular ironing board is kind of hit and miss for that. Okay, so I need to clean up this edge right here. I used to be so good at this, and I'm not so much anymore, but I will tell you guys, when you're sewing this edge, it's great to not, you know, like you're gonna have to probably come along here and you're gonna be pushing against this. So when you're pinning this, try and pin this so that you're pulling the waistband just a tad this way, because your machine's going to push the fabric towards the end there anyway. I have a lot of pins in here. Yeah, right? If you distressed them, they would look so store-bought. Funnily, like, distressing jeans came about when I entered the garment industry. It was brand new. Like, no one had ever done that, right? Because when I was in high school, you bought your Levi's and they were stiff, and then you had to break them in, and nobody ever wanted brand new Levi's. They always wanted the broken in ones. They were stealing their dads, you know, stuff like that. And they lasted so long because of that. Like, that was the thing. Like, you wanted your broken in jeans, right? And then they discovered they could enzyme wash the denim to make it look relaxed. And so then they started selling relaxed denim, right? And of course, acid wash. I never owned anything acid wash. I don't really like it. But that's what we would do. You would make, like, we did knitwear for kids, right, at Bum Equipment. We did knitwear like sweatshirts and t-shirts with graphics on them. And we did jeans and overalls and little baby bib overalls that were really cute. And then we would draft the patterns, and you would have to add a little bit of shrinkage for the enzyme wash. Sometimes a lot of shrinkage. Just depends. Oh, really, Polly? That's awesome. I like her invisible zipper video. I'd never heard of her. I can't imagine doing that, and here I am doing it, you know? Like, I can't imagine. Like, I don't know, does she have her own TV show, or is she just doing sewing videos? You can tell she's really comfortable with it. So awesome. Okay, this is kind of a troubly area here. All right, this is a little bit ASMR, isn't it? Pinning, so satisfying. All right, and this I'm gonna clean up when I'm at the machine, same with there. All right, let's do it. Oh, it's so easy. I've kind of heard of that. That's a TV show, right? Oh, on PBS. Oh, okay, cool. That's awesome. It might be time to take my headband off. Oh, yeah. Look at these headbands. Aren't they cool? So in my town, I'm sure you guys have heard of Sierra Nevada Brewery. You know, the beer makers. They're big. They're big for California especially. This is made from, I don't actually drink beer. I can't stand it. But this is made from a Sierra Nevada brewery carton. The gal doesn't do them anymore. She moved out of town. But I have like 3 of those, and I have a holiday. They have a holiday beer celebration ale, and she made a holiday, like a snowflake one, and so cute. All right, I'm gonna go for it using my real top stitch thread. I'm feeling good. Yeah. Yeah, so that's where I saw her. It was a blueprint. Oh no. Do I have another one? Oh, I do, I think. This is the same color, right? Yeah. Phew. On the floor until Loki comes by and grabs it. I almost had the dogs on stream yesterday. I'm kind of glad I didn't after all that crazy stuff. I'm in Chico, Sandy. Where's Lincoln? Brooks, oh, don't do that, please. Brooks in California as well. And so is Katie. I'm not handing out addresses, I promise. Oh, I bet she has a series of patterns. She's really great. All right, here we go. I like to start at the center back. Means you're gonna get poked by your pins for longer. Okay, I'm gonna make sure this is pressed down. The people that I got those woven labels from tagged me in a post today. Is it decoupaged? What? Oh, yeah. I think, yeah, like Mod Podge. It's really stiff. They last forever. Unlike other things I've had people, like I've bought things like that and they don't last, you know? They just fall apart after a couple. Okay, so here we go. Can you guys see okay? I'm going to start right now. I'm going to test my thread. And then I'm going to start right now. I'm going to hold my top stitch thread this time too. All right. Really? You're really close, Sandy. Dang. You too, Polly? That's awesome. That's really cool. So, Sandy, tell me, what are the fabric stores in your area? I'm going to Sacramento on Monday. Where do I need to drag my brother to? I'm bringing my brother. Off the 80, yeah. You're like an hour and a half from me. Isn't it Jan also? Jan came to my came to my class here in Chico. She took my Willow Tank class. She's not too far away either. I think she's near Truckee or something. How's it looking? Is it looking okay? All right, so now here I am to my waistband area, so I got to really pay attention. Look, I'm making sure like I'm pulling it all apart so that the back is flat, because that sometimes like you get little tucks and stuff. I'm gonna get my all out, and I'm gonna kind of feed this fabric in like this. Just doing that makes it want to stand on its end over here a little better, which is great, because the stretch of the fabric kind of makes it a little whooshy and want to like gush out a little bit. And we don't want that. We want it to stay nice and crisp if we can. We're also getting close to our teeth. Oh gosh, don't jump forward like that, please, machine. Okay. Ooh, I got lucky. Oh, really? Okay. Oh, we go with John's. Okay. Ah, bummer, Brooke. Oh, if it's family time. Wait, how far? Is that really close for you, Brooke? I was going to make him take me to Cheesecake Factory so I can have a piece of a piece of the banana cream cheesecake. I thought I was done with it. I thought I was over it, but now it's sounding kind of good. Okay, I didn't get my point out very good here. Let's see. Oh, she lived in Temecula? I used to live in Lake Elsinore. Someone said, did I see Joshua Tree? Oh, and she lived in Joshua Tree? Wow. Stunning. I really wish I would have pulled this out before I started sewing. Okay. Look at my corner's kind of lame. All right, so now we're going into the inside of the machine. Okay. Now you get a little break. Like you had to do the try hard bit along the waistband here, and then around up here you just need to be consistent from the edge. You don't really have to worry about anything. Just don't get poked by your pins. I make everybody take me there, Brooke. You know what? My mom would do that too, so. He wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, that's true, Sandy. IKEA does have fabric. They have some really fun fabrics. It's a good idea. Oh, I don't know if I could do that to him, though. Bring him to IKEA. I mean, he has to love me, right? He's my brother. So maybe I could. I just bent this pin. Going in the trash. Okay, so here I am. My waistband. It's so dark for me. Is it dark for you guys? I feel like I've focused so much on stuff that I was a little lame on my waistband points. My waistband points at the top there. Okay, so let's tuck all this in here. Try to get a nice straight line. All right, last stretch, you guys. This is going really good. Let's hope it still all matches up. I didn't really check it after I pinned it because, you know. Oh, God. I just went right over my zipper and I lucked out. I know I've never made you take me there, Brooke. You got out of it that year at that show, and then I was with Kirby and the Clemis guys. You dodged one there. You really dodged one there because we ended up at very much a roadside barbecue place, and there was nothing for a vegetarian on the menu except the bread that was barbecued too. So. I don't know. You know what, Barbara? I actually have a light for this machine, but it negatively affects the lighting for you guys. Why is my camera all the way over there? You guys could tell me I'm off center. Banana Foster's cheese. Oh, that sounds kind of good. IKEA and a Cheesecake Factory, right? Yeah, Brooke at Stitches. Do you remember that? Do you remember when I did that? I was really craving that, and I knew they would probably be like, yeah, and they did say that, and then we drove their huge, big old truck about 45 minutes. We found one. We got there. It was at a mall. They only had valet parking. There was not a single parking spot, and the wait was an hour and 15 minutes. So we ended up with the barbecue place. At that point, I was like, we can go wherever you want. No, what's Ginger Elizabeth? Is that in Sacramento? What's this thread? Okay. All right, you guys, look at this. Doo-doo-doo. Okay. Inspection time. Okay, tell me, how's it look? I can't tell. OMG, wet. Oh, they're okay. Not too bad. I don't like that little blump right there. They look pretty nice though, I have to say. They look pretty nice overall. They look really nice. I pushed it down. What the heck? Well, I'll just tack it with a couple stitches. I pushed it down, but then I didn't start on top of it. I started like over here. All right. All right, you guys, that's pretty good, huh? I'm going to hem them now. Is she in Sacramento? Wait a minute. So, with some friends that you and I share, I went to this place called like Puff something or... Okay, literally, you guys, this is what they made. They took a donut, they sliced it in half, they filled it with ice cream, then they deep fry it, and then they put all kinds of kooky toppings on it, like Flintstone Fruity Pebbles or whatever. I mean, they had all kinds of crazy combinations. I can't remember what that place is called. It was nuts. It was like your daily intake of calories in a half. Oh, it's in Sacramento. Cool. Yeah, Ray, I think it's close. I think it's about a small 1/8 of an inch off, but maybe when I place my button and buttonhole, I can finesse it a little bit, right? That's what we call it around here. Finesse. My brother has a really big sweet tooth. We are pals. Yeah, it was too much, Brooke. Like when they said they want to go there, I was like, okay. And then when I saw the menu, I was like, they were like, Jeremy's gonna love this, and I did. It was actually really fun, and it was kind of kooky and not something you would do every day. But at the same time, I was like, holy heck, how am I gonna eat this? And it was really good. But Brooke, you know, like at Lambtown, they have the deep fried Oreos, and those are so good. Like I didn't think those would be good, and I was down. I'm down for those. All right, so I'm gonna do my hems. I have to do a little bit of doctoring there, finessing. It is. It's an Instagram craze place. It totally is an Instagram craze place. Exactly. Because that's what they showed me the pictures of on Instagram. I was like, oh, okay. Cool. All right, you guys. I'm just going to do my hems. And then we're done. Pretty cool, though. Technically, I could probably sew this jeans in one sitting, but I'm not going to do that. So this was a good example of how much time I'll take. The deep fried Oreo is really good, and it comes with like whipped cream that's nice and cold. Maybe it's ice cream. It's actually kind of cuts the heaviness. It's good. I got a little bit wonky there, but we're almost done. Let's make sure actually that our inseams match, right? Okay, that's pretty good. Let's make sure that it's actually on the seam line fold. All right, good, good, good. They didn't have the deep fried Oreos last year. I was pretty bummed. I may not visit you Unless you guys get the deep fried Oreo guy back. But yeah, my brother has a wicked sweet tooth like me. So he would kind of be down for that place. I should find out what it was called. And then take him somewhere junky for lunch. My brother's a lot younger than me. And he still eats like a 22-year-old guy. He's older than that. But it cracks me up. Like I was like looking for birthday gift ideas for him, and I told Cricket, I'm like, what do you think? Like, I would love some ideas, because Cricket's really good at coming up with that kind of stuff. And then she texted me like 2 hours later. She's like, oh, you should get him a gift certificate to the candy store. We have a candy store here that's pretty epic. And I was literally there at the candy store buying him candy. Oh, you're gonna have fresh made churros? Well, that's pretty good. I like churros. Okay, you guys. There's a couple of Mexican restaurants here that actually make churros for dessert. What do you guys think? There is something different about these compared to the ginger jeans. They're very sleek looking. I like the way they look. My pockets. Yeah? Zipper flies looking fly. Those turned out pretty good. I'm actually really pleased with how they look, especially for a muslin. You know? Like, that is over and beyond what you should do for a muslin. Yeah, I think so. Going to the fair, everything's deep fried, right, Polly? I know, I think it is the fair right now. Another fair, so. Cool, you guys. Well, thanks for sticking with me. Oh, look at my bobbin started, or my top thread started getting loose again. Dang. Really got cranked, that puppy. Yeah, those look good. I hope I just made myself some new shorts. I can't wait to try these on. I hope they fit. All right, so Saturday I will be making whatever pattern changes I need to make these fit me, because it's my muslin, right? And I'll be cutting out the jeans. So 11 a.m. on Saturday, I'll be cutting these out and making pattern adjustments. Bring your pattern questions. We will go over anything you guys want that I can handle, and we'll discuss it all. So thank you. What's that thread? What's that thread? Ooh, I hate feeling the bobbin though. Yeah, Eileen, right? Right. Yeah, you know, I think they kind of have that look to me too, kind of that sleek look. And you know, the Sasha trousers by Closet Case are like that as well. But those are stretch woven. So cool. Well, thanks you guys. I appreciate being here. Thank you for coming. Yay, I'm so glad you're going to make some, Sandy. Yeah, totally. Exactly, Eileen. They're kind of classy. Exactly. Yeah, I totally agree. Hopefully I'll have my new and improved, hopefully, intro uploaded. So I'll tell you guys to check it out so you can tell me what you think. Tell me if you think that's the right vibe for us, because they're easy to record. So you're welcome, you guys. Thanks for coming here. I will see you on Saturday at 11 a.m. Have a great Friday tomorrow. And if you're going anywhere for the long weekend, have a really amazing long weekend. It's Labor Day in the States here. And be safe. You know, I like to tell people drive safe, and then I'm like, actually, no. What I mean is drive, respond safely to all the other crazy people, because I know you're driving safely. It's the other people that aren't, right? So here's to quick reflexes. All right, so take care, you guys. Thank you so much. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon. And I have a new, did you notice my new stream beginning thing? This is my new ending one. You're going to see in a second too. So, okay. Bye, guys.